Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, as it will help us to reach more people who need free educational and informative contents. Today we are going to learn about the 14 principles of management given by Henri Fayol. Henri Fayol was a French mining engineer, mining executive, author and director of mines who developed a general theory of business administration that is often called Fayolism. He is widely acknowledged as the father of modern management. In the year 1916, Fayol wrote a book entitled Industrial and General Administration. In this book, he gave the 14 principles of management. The principles laid out by Henri Fayol act as underlying factors of successful management. These principles of management are statements that are based on a fundamental truth. These principles of management serve as a guideline for decision-making and management actions. They are drawn up by means of observations and analyses of events that managers encounter in practice. Now let's learn his 14 principles of management. The first principle is division of work. In here, the work is divided into small tasks and given to appropriate people and put together when the work is done. As the work is done by a group of people, rather than depending on one employee, the efficiency of the job is increased and the time required to complete the work is brought down. The same job may have different tasks which require specific skill sets to complete the task. A good example is phone manufacturing. The parts are made in different countries and put together in a central location. The second principle is authority and responsibility. According to Henri Fayol, the accompanying power or authority gives the management the right to give orders to the subordinates. Managers must be able to give orders. Authority gives them this right. Authority and responsibility are two sides of a coin. As authority makes them to work efficiently, their responsibility guides them and makes responsible for all the work done under them. In short, authority is the right to give commands, and responsibility is when a person is accountable for the duties assigned to him. The third principle is discipline. As a part of the organization, employees are required to follow the organization's rules and regulations. To accomplish the given task, employees need to work together as guided by their manager or leader. According to Fayol, discipline means sincerity, obedience, respect of authority and observance of rules and regulations of the enterprise. As part of the organization, this principle applies to everyone to run the organization effectively. The fourth principle is unity of command. The management principle unity of command means that an individual employee should receive orders from one manager and that the employee is answerable to that manager. If the orders are given by more than one manager or leader, this can create confusion and conflict between employees and can disturb the balance of the organization. In simple, an employee should have only one manager and he should be accountable only to him. The fifth principle is unity of direction. The organization should have a common goal, and everyone in the organization should work for that common goal under the guidance of a manager. It simply means one head, one plan for a group of activities having similar objectives. All the activities that have a common objective should be guided by a single manager. The sixth principle is subordination of individual interest to general interest. The interests of any one employee or small group of employees should not take precedence over the interests of the organization as a whole. The organization will have an ultimate goal to accomplish. Individual interest should be given lesser importance, while general interest should be given the most importance. If the collective opinion of people in an organization is not considered, the organization will collapse. The seventh principle is remuneration. All workers must be paid a fair wage for their services. The wages paid must be as per a certain standard of living to the employee. At the same time, it is within the paying capacity of the company. A good remuneration is needed to motivate employees to work in a company. Remuneration can be both monetary and non-monetary. As employees are providing their personal time and effort to the organization, they expect an adequate payment for their work done. The eighth principle is centralization and decentralization. Centralization happens when the top-level management controls every action in the organization and retains the power. Decentralization happens when the power is distributed among all the levels in an organization, and there is a clear delegation of authority and power. No organization can be completely centralized or decentralized. There should be a balance between this for the proper function of the organization. The ninth principle is scalar chain. A clear chain of authority and communication should exist in the organization and should have a clear organizational structure. The employee should know their immediate superior and should have clear communication between them. This clear hierarchical chain exists mainly to avoid confusion, delays, and to have the best control in the organization. In here, the instructions should flow downward along the chain of command and accountability flows upward. The 10th principle is order. This principle is concerned with systematic arrangement of men, machine, material, etc. There should be a specific place for every employee in an organization. Fayol said that there is a place for everything in the organization. There should be a place for people, office appliances, machines, etc. This order is required for getting the maximum work done by the people in the organization. Simply saying, this principle is concerned with the proper and systematic arrangement of things and people in an organization. The 11th principle is equity. All the employees in the organization must be treated equally with respect to justice and kindliness. Managers should be just and fair towards workers and make sure the work environment is friendly and good. The manager should make sure that no employees are facing discrimination of any kind in the organization and should take action if any problems occur. Simply saying, the equity principle suggests that the managers must be kind as well as equally fair to the subordinates. The 12th principle is stability of tenure of personnel. Employee turnover should be reduced to the maximum as possible by the managers to increase efficiency, effectiveness, and future prospectus of the business. The manager should do everything in their power to make sure that employee feels secure in their job. The employees should have job security because instability leads to inefficiency. Successful firms usually had a stable group of employees. High turnover denotes the inefficiency of the organization and leads to organizational imbalance. The 13th principle is initiative. Employees who are allowed to originate and carry out plans will exert high levels of effort. The management should make sure to support innovation and new ideas from their employees and encourage new ideas and support them. They should encourage the employees to make their own plans and to execute these plans. This is because an initiative gives satisfaction to the employees and brings success to the organization. Employees should be recognized and they should feel they are required and part of the organization. The 14th principle is esprit de corps. Esprit de corps is a French word that means team spirit. Therefore, the management should create unity, cooperation, and team spirit among the employees. It is the responsibility of the management to motivate their employees and be supportive of each other regularly. Developing trust and mutual understanding will lead to a positive outcome in work environment. It is proven that promoting team spirit will build harmony and unity within the organization. This principle says, working together unitedly we can achieve great things. Today we learned the 14 principles of management laid out by Henri Fayol. Those are: 1. Division of work. 2. Authority and responsibility. 3. Discipline. 4. Unity of command. 5. Unity of direction. 6. Subordination of individual interest to general interest. 7. Remuneration. 8. Centralization and decentralization. 9. Scalar chain. 10. Order. 11. Equity. 12. Stability of tenure of personnel. 13. Initiative. 14. Esprit de corps. These principles are laid out by Henri Fayol after extensive research and study. He laid down the foundations of modern scientific management. These principles help management to be efficient, accomplish their given tasks, and to handle situations that rise in the organization. If you find this video useful, consider subscribing and leave your valuable feedback as comments, as it will help us improve our videos and reach more people. Thank you.